And wouldn't you believe it, the WWE chose to have a stadium event in the United Kingdom. And one day, for no particular reason, someone decided to remove 5 sins for that fine idea. That someone is me!
To fight.
Just when you thought I was done with removing sins, you thought wrong. This video package for Clash at the Castle was well done and deserves the praise. Here are 3 more sins removed. We're already in the negatives, but who cares? It's exciting to see a stadium event in Cardiff for this pay-per-view. However, the downside of constructing the stage in the way WWE did is no room for pyrotechnics at all. That's unfortunate. But I gotta take off another sin for the castle constructed above the ring. No joke, I actually thought that was just a CGI graphic before realizing it was still there in other shots. Damn, are we ever gonna get out of the negatives? Byron Saxton and Corey Graves wearing matching outfits is shockingly one of the most disturbing things I've seen during this event. Alexa Bliss can't seem to make up her mind on whether or not she wants to keep that Lily doll. Sometimes she has it, sometimes she doesn't, yet the CGI graphics continue to remind us of that creepy thing. Also, cool as it is for the fans to be close to the wrestlers when they enter the stadium, it must feel pretty claustrophobic to walk through the hallway. I saw Finn Balor's social media video on it. Also, what are the odds that this WrestleMania in England sign will continue to be ignored for many years to come? These CGI Asuka masks sadly couldn't get a ticket for the show and had to showcase themselves outside the stadium. Come on, WWE, CGI mask lives matter. Also, I don't get what the point of showing CGI graphics outside the stadium is. If it's to get a view of what the outside looks like, then mission failed because the graphics are blocking pretty much everything. Bayley's new stable was originally revealed as Damage Control, but changed to the actual word control due to everyone making non-stop Control-Alt-Delete references.
Looks like the drapes at my grandmother's house.
What? Boy, that's sad. Damage Control have little to no room to separately pose for the audience given the small amount of space. WWE may have upgraded their flashbacks to a split-screen scenario, but a previously on WWE sin is still a previously on WWE sin. Boy, it feels like a decade since we last heard an audience sing that song for Bayley, but what I like about this is Bayley trying to shut up the fans because she finds it annoying.
Dakota and Io get involved.
Dakota Kai and Io Sky pull Bianca Belair out of the ring and choose to mock her and dance around, instead of, I don't know, beating her down.
And Bayley kicks out. She actually pinned all 3.
True in a sense, though only one pair of shoulders actually count for the match to conclude, so not as impressive.
Guys, I think she said to cheer louder.
Michael Cole finally getting some payback against Bayley after a year of being bullied by her on commentary. You love to see it. Fans are chanting, "We want Bayley," just so they can have an excuse to sing the Be My Girl song. My question is, can't you just do that regardless of Bayley being the legal competitor? It's not like being on the apron makes her deaf to your chants or anything. Okay, it's been over 5 minutes and now the loop has gotten old. Now I got that song stuck in my head. Thanks a lot, assholes. No one obviously cares what's trending, but why are we still focused on the #1 trend in the United States? We're in the United Kingdom. You mean to tell me that this event is likely not the #1 trend over here? Because I call bullshit on that.
Now here comes Io.
Asuka was watching Io Sky long before Io leaped onto the top rope and could have countered at any moment.
Tag again, and here comes...
Nice heel work from Bayley. Knowing the crowd wanted to see her as the legal competitor just to sing their song, she tags herself in and then immediately tags herself out. Although I'm putting that sin back because, while indirectly, the crowd is being a complete dick to Io Sky and Dakota Kai by not caring about them competing. All they want to do is sing to Bayley and everything else in between is irrelevant. Dicks.
That Bayley has imparted upon...
Dakota Kai has Alexa Bliss down and vulnerable, but instead of throwing Alexa back into the ring, Dakota leaves her outside just to pose on the top rope. You trying to piss me off on purpose? Because it worked.
Young age, performed all over...
Winner of WWE Clash at the Castle to bring you Survivor Series 2014, where Seth Rollins toyed with Dolph Ziggler about tagging in his non-existent partners.
Held the title for over 300 days.
Those who never watched NXT would think Michael Cole was talking about Dakota Kai being a 300-day NXT Women's Champion when that was actually Io Sky. If you're going to label accomplishments, which I'll sin anyway, couldn't you at least talk about the legal wrestlers inside the ring?
Bliss had Io's not the legal...
Alexa Bliss had to reposition herself against the corner due to the fact that Dakota Kai was supposed to kick her in the face Zack Ryder style.
Oh, and Bayley doesn't allow the tag.
Bayley trips up Bianca Belair, and instead of retaliating, Bianca just stands there practically saying, "Why did you do that to me? Bruh, attack your rival. Fuck."
Here comes Io.
Yes, it's the traditional hot tag moment, but because Io didn't time this right, she had to spin around in a complete circle just to allow Asuka to leap off the top rope and get her.
And
this double team move would look more badass if Asuka didn't have to sit in position for nearly 3 seconds waiting for Bayley to strike her. Alright, that was interesting to see Bianca Belair literally carrying her team on her back while they connect a superplex on Bayley. Nice moment right there.
for the first time in over 30 years.
I really hope I don't have to create a bonus round on the many times Michael Cole reminds us that it's the first time in 30 years WWE held a stadium event in the United Kingdom. Maybe he's trying to say 30 times. So let's just throw in 30 sins. Yeah, I know, it seems a bit much, but I've added way more for way less.
By now.
Oh! Io Sky unfortunately missed both Asuka and Alexa Bliss completely in that exchange. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's purely a coincidence that Tyson Fury is sitting at ringside for this event. It's not like he's competed in WWE before and suspiciously might get involved later. Great move for WWE to flash back to the time the British Bulldog won the Intercontinental title in a stadium event in the United Kingdom. Still one of SummerSlam's best matches ever. Sheamus is non-pyro, and in a place that literally has no pyrotechnics, what was the point of that noise? Also, it sadly took WWE over a year and a half before they realized the Intercontinental Championship hadn't been defended on pay-per-view. Seeing Butch being Butch just looks awkward after we literally saw him compete Pete Dunne style last night on SmackDown. This badass entrance of the reunited Imperium made the excitement for this Intercontinental Championship match 10 times more epic. Thank God that Imperium is back together.
And here we go! In London,
Since neither Sheamus nor Gunther got involved in this brawl, for once I will not add in the pre-match assault sin. I will instead remove a sin because it was so badass to see them ignore the brawl and keep their eyes on each other while the carnage is taking place.
Holy war for his Intercontinental Champion!
It's not often a bell rings to start a match and everyone goes wild immediately because it gives you chills. So to see it happen here was amazing. You already know we were in for a 5-star classic.
It won't be about technique.
Sheamus kicks Gunther in the gut, which would logically make him bend over forward. Instead, Gunther reacts like he got kicked in the face and turns sideways.
Gunther ringing through Principality Stadium.
I get that Michael Cole is trying to make these chops sound brutal, but I wouldn't say they're echoing over Principality Stadium due to the fact that we could barely hear them up close.
Defended every day across the globe.
Defended every day across the globe sounds awesome. Let's actually go back to doing that for the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, maybe not every day, but you get what I mean. Meanwhile, on this far side of the stadium,
for every...
Gotta give props to Sheamus on not only taking all those knife-edge chops from Gunther, but practically absorbing them at the same time to fuel his anger. Fucking awesome.
Turn things around and get it out, a chop to the back of the neck.
That was a chop to Sheamus' shoulder blades, not the back of the neck. Come on, Michael, it was so obvious.
The rise of the Celtic War.
Throughout the match, Sheamus finds several places to hit his signature 10 beats of the pattern, and this place on the table was by far the coolest.
Go, but down.
It has been years since we've seen Sheamus use his high cross finishing move, and seeing him utilize it on Gunther really added into the nostalgia of his early days. This is a fucking awesome match.
Himself to his feet.
Smart move on the part of Gunther to attack Sheamus' lower back knowing the bro kick was coming, and it's a good thing Sheamus knows how to properly sell injuries. That made the ending fantastic. The build-up to Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler has been rather confusing if you ask me. Shayna seems to be dominant, but actually Liv is dominant. Shayna attacks Liv's injured arm, but actually the arm is totally fine. And Ronda Rousey is somewhat involved, but actually she's not.
A bootleg Ronda Rousey.
With how these promos were going heading into tonight's match, they were aiming towards Shayna Baszler bringing back the killer she was in NXT. Yet this match was actually aiming toward Liv Morgan finally being able to win a match with no controversy. That's why I got a lot of mixed signals from this feud. Not gonna lie, that made no sense and irritated me. Shayna bent Liv's injured arm and then literally stomped on it, causing it to get even more damage. But then Liv put Shayna through the table less than 15 seconds later like it never happened. That always bugged me. Poor CGI SmackDown Women's Championship also wasn't allowed to be inside the stadium along with Asuka's masks.
Barefoot a clutch right out of the gate.
This was actually a good start to the match and showcased the nice contrasting of styles between Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler. Liv trying to go for roll-up wins instantly, while Shayna is trying to go for submission wins instantly.
Morgan looking for... Oh, and Baszler!
That was a great counter by Shayna. A simple nudge on Liv's legs causing her to slip off the ropes and get caught on her injured arm in the process. I won't lie, I wasn't expecting much from this match, but I was impressed by both competitors on being at the right place at the right time. Shayna Baszler wasting time on the ropes and underestimating Liv Morgan. While in controversy, Liv did pin Ronda Rousey twice, so I wouldn't be taking her lightly if I were Shayna.
All the right things coming in.
Liv Morgan got kicked by Shayna Baszler and ended up in a position I've been known to be in when I wake up in the morning. I mean, what? Oh look, WWE heard me and showed what the #1 trend in the United Kingdom was. But guess what? I'm a hypocrite and you fell for my trick because no one cares what's trending.
Ronda Rousey punished.
Shayna Baszler is one locked arm away from pissing off CM Punk, who would definitely cry and rant about this on a post-media conference. I have shockingly seen the shot of the stadium 20 times since the show began. I get that we're in a big stadium in the UK, but it's getting a little repetitive. Shayna Baszler wasting valuable time threatening to break Liv Morgan's arm when she should be, I don't know, breaking Liv Morgan's arm? The one thing that she keeps saying she'll do but ultimately fail in the end? That was a badass counter by Shayna, kicking out and going straight for the Kirifuda clutch in less than a second.
Shayna set up for Oblivion. She do it. She does.
Impressed as I was that Liv Morgan was able to pull it off, I once again got mixed feelings about it, given Shayna dominated pretty much the entire match but was that easy to defeat. Probably was because Liv doesn't exactly have a devastating finisher. But whatever. Congratulations, Liv. I didn't think you could do it, and that's me being honest. Perhaps this is me being a dumbass on promoting intergender matches, but I don't see why we couldn't add Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley to the match, given how they seem to be fighting each other in the build-up.
He is 6'1" mile.
That was terrible. I swear, if this Dominic Mysterio hesitates to hit Rhea Ripley's storyline doesn't pay off with these two eventually getting together in a romantic situation, I'm gonna be pissed. He's clearly attracted to her, so why not? Edge Mysterio? Also, the audience singing along to Metalingus made this entrance even more badass than it already is. God, I love singing audiences. Now, come on, we couldn't have at least a small bit of pyrotechnics for this? Smoke machines kinda ruined this entrance pose, if you ask me. Nearly a whole minute of waiting for the Judgment Day to make their entrance. Let's go, guys, we're on a tight schedule. And even more non-pyro, this time for Judgment Day. They got the noises, but not the actual pyrotechnics in this place?
Finn Balor, who has sort of become the leader of...
So, which one is correct? Is Finn Balor the leader of Judgment Day, or are all three members completely equal? That's the part I don't get. Someone says this, and the other says that. Enough with the mixed confusion, please.
You're dealing with veterans and Hall of Famers.
Excuse me, Ray. Just gonna squeeze right past you so I can menacingly point at your partner. Ah, there we go. I'm pleased. Okay, where were we?
Edge and Mysterio, obviously.
Finn Balor saw Rey Mysterio put himself on the corner to prevent Edge from hitting it and figured it would work for him to copy Rey on behalf of Damian Priest. Take a wild guess how that ended. Although, what I don't get is how putting yourself in the corner is supposed to help your partner when he's still hitting you. Matter of fact, wouldn't that just cause rib problems with the impact of the collision? It's not like human bodies are cushions or anything.
And Edge now launching Mysterio.
Alright, that was awesome for sure. This has been actually a fantastic pay-per-view event for these UK fans. UK pay-per-views should totally be a yearly thing.
Ray again and...
That was cute. Never before have I seen someone kick a hand out of the way while the wrestler's looking for a tag.
Balor was able to make the tag to Priest.
Damian Priest looks to kick Edge off of the apron to prevent a tag from happening. Misses him completely, yet still somehow connected the kick. That was dumb.
Look out, Priest from behind.
Damian Priest has some wicked athleticism. Nearly lost his balance, but was able to regain it. Gotta love this match.
On top. Oh!
I'm torn between saying Rey Mysterio is addicted to Damian's priests, or saying that Damian is addicted to his own priests due to the fact that he wasted time posing, which allowed Rey to capitalize. Decide amongst yourselves.
619! I'd say that was more of a 519.
Ha! Get it? Because Edge is from Toronto and 519 is the area code of Southwestern Ontario. Still a little cringe. Also, sorry to say it, but Edge missed Finn Balor completely with his version of the 619. Definitely should have practiced more of it before utilizing it in this match. Remember, it's only pathetic if a bad guy's distracted the referee allowing his team to cheat, but if a good guy does it, halla motherfucking looyah!
Ripley!
Rumor spread that Dominic Mysterio was so turned on when Rhea Ripley knocked his ass out with that punch. Perhaps another reason why Dominic ends up turning on his father was because Rey hurt him in this dive a lot more than he hurt Rhea. That 619 and spear combination was a fucking badass way to end this great tag team match. WWE is on a roll tonight with their performances. Hope I didn't just jinx that. Although, this is really not a good look on the Judgment Day. When Edge was in the group, they kept winning over and over. When Finn Balor took over the group, they kept losing over and over.
Over the Judgment Day.
I won't lie, I don't blame Dominic Mysterio much for attacking Edge and Rey Mysterio. These guys were being absolute dicks by ignoring him, despite Dominic being the literal only reason they won this match.
From their collective side. Oh my God!
While yes, Dominic is addicted to Edge's rated R superstars, I can't ignore the shocked look of betrayal and heartbreak on Edge's face as he dropped to the ground. It's the facial expressions that tell the biggest story in pro wrestling.
What the hell?
Rey Mysterio really doesn't have a lot of luck when it comes to being attacked by his friends and family. This is the same scene when Eddie Guerrero attacked him and when Dave Bautista attacked him.
The Mysterio family falling apart quicker than the New York Yankees.
Hey look, Matt Riddle got his first name back, and shockingly the one guy who got his first name back was someone whose name shortened to Riddle wasn't even that bad to begin with. Just saying, it isn't like he was Pete Dunne turned into Butch or anything. Also, since Matt Riddle has his full name back, can Seth Rollins seriously get the frickin' out of his official name, please and thank you?
Because your wife divorced you and took your kids and they don't want to see a bitch ass.
The promos leading into this match between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle were amazing, and when they started bringing up the family problems, that's when I knew this was going to be extremely insane. Matt Trickstar. Also, for someone who's pissed off beyond belief and full of rage, ready to practically kill Seth Rollins, Matt Riddle seems to be in a great mood tonight. Would have been better if he didn't bring the scooter and merely stormed to the ring in anger without even wearing his flip-flops. Seth Rollins wearing his own version of one of Elton John's outfits was pretty cool. Only in WWE would you see someone dressed like Elton John and the other like Patrick Starr, and you'd be having a good time with it. The crowd singing along to Seth Rollins' chant during his music, and even after it, made the scene even cooler. It'd be nice to see a WrestleMania over here. Hell, I'd make the trip too. Always wanted to go to Europe.
That he wants an opportunity at the Undisputed Championship.
Seth Rollins keeps bringing up that he wants another title match against Roman Reigns. I want to see that too. But the irritating part is he never brings it up again, and then one day he mentions it again, all just to never bring it up afterwards. For once, he should want to go after Roman Reigns, and then actually go after him. Jesus. Also, why hasn't Seth gotten a rematch by now after he won via disqualification back at the Royal Rumble this year? That buckle bomb into the barricade was so intense it caused this cameraman to start falling into another dimension. Someone called Dr. Strange. This guy needs help. Also, even if Matt ended up being okay, Seth should really stop throwing people into the barricades like that after what happened to Finn Balor in 2016.
He's gonna launch himself into Riddle.
I'm sorry, but that was pretty weak. All Seth did was slide off of Matt, and that was somehow enough to send Matt sailing over the announce desk. Seth Rollins wasting over 30 seconds of this match just looking at the crowd and listening to the referee yell at him, allowing Matt Riddle to recover and take advantage. I just want to take this moment and remove another sin because there were actually no LED boards on the ring posts, ring apron, or barricades during this event. Looked like a traditional wrestling ring, which is what WWE should go back to using for all their events.
Looking. Oh, goodness.
Copyright infringement, bro.
Wait a minute. Rollins.
Seth Rollins goes for the Phoenix Splash and doesn't connect it every single time, cliche. After all these years, why does he still go for it when it never seems to connect anymore?
Hooks Riddle for the pedigree. Riddle kicks out.
I get that the curb stomp is Seth's finishing move, but the pedigree is just as devastating, and since he adopted it from Triple H, this move shouldn't be taken lightly as a regular move.
You're a loser.
Monologuing is a villain's greatest weakness, or in Seth's case, a villain's greatest freaking weakness. Matt Riddle was totally cool with getting himself disqualified, and because of how personal this feud was, I'm shocked that a stipulation wasn't placed in. Over 5 damn minutes of commercials. I don't care if it's a Peacock thing, that just makes this even worse. Karrion Kross is here at ringside just to menacingly stare at Drew McIntyre and throw a water bottle at him, and that's literally it. Thanks for making that long trip to Cardiff just to do that. The guys who created this video package for the main event deserves a lot of praise for their efforts. This just increased the excitement. The flashbacks to how Drew McIntyre got here, his original theme music, the fans singing along to said theme music. Why the fuck did he not win tonight? There was nobody more perfect to defeat Roman Reigns than this man, and in this location. In the United Kingdom of all places, I'm actually shocked that Drew McIntyre doesn't have a more customized outfit, or at least a kilt to represent being from the UK country of Scotland. Also, the entrances for these two wrestlers take 11 minutes, just like when Roman Reigns took on Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Note to self, in a stadium event where Roman Reigns is facing someone, you got enough time to go to the bathroom and maybe get some additional snacks before the match begins. Out of anybody getting non-pyro, I never thought I'd see the day where I'd place that sin for the frickin' tribal chief Roman Reigns.
62,296.
Fox, I don't give about the exaggerated number of people in attendance tonight, especially when you repeat it endlessly. Roman Reigns is somehow shocked that the fans of the United Kingdom are cheering and chanting for the guy who's actually from the United Kingdom. You can't be serious, right? Also, it takes nearly 2 minutes for Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre to actually lock up since the bell rang for the match to begin.
It's not often you see Roman Reigns back away.
Actually, we've been seeing that a lot ever since he turned heel and became Universal Champion, because, you know, that's kind of what heels are supposed to do. So many annoying minutes of Roman Reigns retreating and irritating the hell out of me. What's worse is Drew McIntyre just stands around and lets this happen.
Down in mind as he...
Karrion Kross be like, yeah, I just threw a water bottle at you. I got the idea from watching that Justin Bieber concert well over a decade ago when that happened. We might as well be showing the entire event from this camera angle, wouldn't you agree? Roman Reigns has been spending the first 10 minutes of this 30-minute match either running away from Drew McIntyre or monologuing when you should be taking advantage of the fallen Drew.
Cardiff, acknowledge me!
Well, that's what you get for wasting all the time in the world wanting Cardiff to acknowledge you. Drew McIntyre be like, acknowledge this Glasgow kiss!
Over for the championship! Oh.
An obvious 2 count even from an obstructed view, and Michael Cole somehow believes that Drew McIntyre won the match. From where you're sitting, you got a better view of the pin than we do.
Official didn't see it. Oh! Rock bottom!
That was more of a traditional Uranagi than a rock bottom, since Roman Reigns didn't exactly fall forward with Drew McIntyre. Also, you're just teasing us on purpose about the potential WrestleMania match between Roman Reigns and The Rock at this point, aren't you? It better happen at this point, otherwise you're an asshole.
Roman Reigns with it!
Perhaps Drew would have successfully hit his Claymore kick if he didn't always get the crowd to count it down with him. This alerts literally every single one of Drew's opponents on what's coming.
Shoulders, no! Right now, kick out!
The moment Drew McIntyre got hit with a second spear after getting his momentum back up, I actually freaked out that the match was over and Drew failed. But damn, you could feel that energy with a kick out.
McIntyre!
Drew McIntyre clearly saw Roman Reigns arguing with the referee and figured nothing bad would happen if he hit a Claymore kick on Roman from behind. Also, the referee gets knocked over at the crucial point in the match cliche. As cool as it was to see Tyson Fury knock out Austin Theory, yay, he got his name back too, preventing him from cashing into the Money in the Bank contract. Why couldn't Austin just run into the ring with the referee and cash in there? What possessed him to think that standing at the farthest edge of the barricade to cash in was the best idea? Also, Austin is so desperate to recreate the heist of the century moment made by Seth Rollins in 2015 that he tried to cash in 2 pay-per-views in a row during the world title match and failed both times. May want to consider doing this at a time when there's no match or celebrity boxers hanging out. Amazing to see Solo Sikoa arrive on the main roster and join up with the Bloodline. Unfortunately, he showed up at the most irritating at times. Can't wait to see how he performs, but still. Also, at this point, WWE may have to consider a barbed wire steel cage match where you can only win by pin or submission, with added security brandishing tasers at the door. That seems to be the only match stipulation that Roman Reigns will have to compete in to keep the Bloodline out. This was a great pay-per-view with a terrible ending. Just when it seemed like Roman could actually get the job done without the need of interference, here comes yet another one. And victory due to outside interference is always a sin. What a shame. This ending with Tyson Fury singing with Drew McIntyre was a good way to send the crowd home happy because it's a thing they do in the United Kingdom, but this didn't really have to air. I'm too pissed off from the match's conclusion to give a fuck at the moment.